This is the Land Cruiser 70 series, codename the Pelican. Let's do an in-depth review of everything that I've got. These are Frontrunner boxes, Frontrunner Wolfpack Pro. I have them mounted on the roof. I got this from Safari Outfitters. This is where I carry my recovery gear. Makes it easy for you to get to the recovery gear. On this other box, I carry my random things that I might not really need as much. These are waterproof, dustproof. They have a rubber seal. I have these mounts. They clamp down. They hold down the boxes really well. These are from Intu 4x4. I got this from Intu, and they hold down the box very well. They also help maintain the seal. They push that down. These are stretches just to help hold, just in case this fail. This can hold some of that weight. This is a 3 kg gas cylinder from Total. By Total, as you can see there, that is what I use for cooking. I carry 20 liters spare fuel. The car has 90 liters on the tank, but I carry 20 liters of spare fuel. When I'm going further, I carry an extra 40 to 60 liters up on the roof. This is a Frontrunner awning. Got this at Safari Outfitters. This is just a shade that I can pull out. Cool. So back here is everything I need to go camping in the wild. I can go for multi-day trip. So everything I have here is very custom to what I need. In here is a power system for just charging everything, running my Starlink, whatever I need to run with power. This is my shower cabin. That is my first aid kit over there. This is by Decathlon. I have this Frontrunner soft flat pack. I have my tools over here. This is a fridge, 55-liter fridge. Anything, my drinks, my food, anything that needs to be frozen or chilled stays inside this fridge. Frontrunner Wolfpack Pro with a different lid, but it's the same Wolfpack Pro, same as the ones on the roof. Waterproof, airtight. This is where I keep my beddings, my mattress, my pillow, my sleeping bags are inside here. Over on the other side, this is where I carry my spare parts. I have 2 of these. This is where I carry my spare parts. This is for my clothes. I just strap it up there. I can carry more if there are 2 people in the car. I can carry more clothes up here. This is a chair, a camping chair. My tent. This is the Decathlon like 30-second tent. Some extra stuff under here. That is the top that I lay on the ground, and this shade thingy. This bag contains my shower stuff. Up here I have this shelf. This was custom made by maxxis Outdoor. In here I carry my utensils. So this is my cups, my plates, my sufurias, and my gas burner top. Over on this other side, this one contains my food. So I have my cereals, my emergency food, my spice, my tea leaves. I have a winch. That is a 6-ton winch. 1,200 pounds or up to 1,300 pounds. I have some decently bright headlights. These are the maxxis Razor 80s all-terrain tires from Tire World, Kenya. On the shock absorber side, I have Ironman foam cell paired with Ironman springs. It's powered by 1KZ 3-liter diesel engine. This is the 1KZ TE with electronically controlled fuel injection system. So this is the full arrangement of everything I need to sleep comfortably in the bundus, in the wild. Inside the box, I have a mattress. So this is an inflatable mattress. This is an inflatable pillow, a sleeping bag, and a bed sheet, and air pump to inflate the mattress. I also have an extra bucket in there for showering. That is a tent, a shower cabin, gazebo tent thingy, the 10-degree sleeping bag for warmer times, and that is 0-degree. So we'll start off with the mattress. This is a 5x6 mattress. I got this from Decathlon. So this is a small inflatable pillow. Yeah. I also got this from Decathlon, a fitted bedsheet that I just use on my mattress. This is a one-person sleeping bag, and you can unzip it to make it into a blanket. I also have this other sleeping bag. This is 0 degree to negative 25. So if you're camping on colder places like Mount Kenya, the Aberdares, Mount Kilimanjaro, I actually use this specific sleeping bag on Mount Kilimanjaro, and that night I did not feel cold even a single bit. I got this from Outdora. I also have a two-person sleeping bag. I have washed that right now. So that is a two-person sleeping bag that fits two people perfectly. I also got that from Decathlon. I also have this pump. So it just plugs straight into the mattress and it can inflate and deflate. Next up, I have this gazebo thingy. You have some poles and some ropes, and you can set it up whichever way you want. So you can set it up as standalone, like a tent strap thingy, or you can tie it to a tree, or to the car, or just over your tent. Next up is this shower cabin. So this is just a shower cabin that pops up, and you can shower in there or change or do stuff. I got this from Decathlon. We have a tent. This is also from Decathlon, and this is an instant tent. If it's two people, the setup is pretty instant. It has proper ventilation. The good thing about this tent is everything is easy in one, right? There's no, it doesn't have like separate spare parts, and so you just pop it open and you're good to go. Put your mattress in there and you're good to sleep. I prefer sleeping on the ground. It's simpler, it's cheaper compared to a rooftop tent. This is like 5% of the cost of a rooftop tent. So I also have this awning. It's front runner 2 meter by 2 meter awning. So it's mostly just a shade or a tent thingy that you can use to cover yourself from the sun or from rain. Yeah, I got this from Frontrunner in South Africa, but I think you can get it from Safari Outfitters. There are also different designs, like some of which ultra red have that can open like 270 degrees that drops around your car. Yeah, so as you can see, this is front. This is Frontrunner, 2 meters by 2 meters. In here is my shower. Just pops up like that. And you open it up. So it does come with a top. So this one goes to the floor. You place this on the floor of the like that. Yeah, so you are not stepping on the ground. It also comes with some pegs and pins to hold it down so it doesn't get carried by the wind. It also has instruction on how to unfold and fold it. Yeah, so pegs and pins, tap on the bottom. It has a zip up door, so you can just zip yourself up in there. This is to hook up to your car somewhere. So I usually put it on the other side so you can hook this up somewhere so it doesn't get blown off by the wind. It has this so you can hang your something you want to hang in there. This is all the privacy you need. You can shower comfortably in there, and it all fits into this small package. If you have a shower head, you can pocket from up there. And folding it up is also pretty easy. Easy peasy, and it fits. Yeah, the other thing I have are these small duffel bags. This is what I use for carrying my clothes. For longer trips, I have this bigger bag. So this is my packing arrangements, enough for 2 persons. And the other thing is tissue paper. Never forget to carry your tissue paper. So I don't really have anything else to put inside this glove compartment. So that is why I put my tissue paper and some wipes. So they just stay in there. They're quick to access, and you never forget. All right, over to the kitchen side. Let's talk about some of the tools, some of the food I carry, and some of the utensils I carry for the kitchen. Over there I have a crate, some trash bags and Ziploc bags, towels. Over on the other side I have my gas cooker, gas stove, and the pipe that is paired with the gas on top of the car. Here I have some of the food I carry and some of the cereals and stuff. Here I have the fridge. These are some of the utensils I carry. That is the grill and the burner. This is a 55-liter Alpical fridge. I got this from Bush Gear, Kenya. It connects to the battery I have in the car, but it also has an external battery. So this battery can last up to 8 hours when it's unplugged from the power source. But it also has another power source, and you can also connect it to solar. The fridge itself has 2 compartments, and you can either use one as a freezer and one as a fridge, or both as a fridge or both as a freezer. So it also comes with an app. So with the app you can control the temperatures of the fridge to whatever you want. So this monitors everything that is going on the fridge, which is pretty cool. Next up, I will move over to the utensils that I have. So this is a foldable crate, as you can see, but then you can unfold it and you have a full crate. You don't need to carry anything that needs to be in a crate. I use this. And also, if I wash my utensils, I just put them in here and let them dry out. I think I bought it online on Amazon. You can find it on Pandamat in Garden City. They have the same type of crate. All you really need is 2 cups and 2 plates. This car usually has like a maximum of 2 occupants, so these are all I really need. So over here I have my sufuria. It comes with this small pan, which is enough for 2 people. And inside, it also packs an extra set of cups and an extra set of plates. So this is the pot I use to like boil water, boil some soup. It also has an extra bowl inside. I got this from Decathlon, but these are really designed for backpackers who have limited space. So if you can carry like a normal sufuria and a normal pan, that'd be fine. These cups and plates, they're made out of enamel. They're pressure durable. I got this from Safari Outfitters. They have this listed on their website. If I have like friends around, need to share drinks, the tumbler is in there. This is by Frontrunner. So this is a kit that contains all your cutlery. This is a lot of cutlery. I do not need all this. It has knives, forks, spoons, bottle opener, bigger knives for your nyama choma and stuff. Then you have your spatula, your serving spoon, and your spoke. Here is a chopping board. It does not come with a mwiko, but you can get yourself one from a local shop. You can definitely build your own kit. Just find out what you need from this set and just go buy the specific things you need. I got this specific set from Safari Outfitters. If you're usually like a big family in your car, this will be a perfect set for you because you will never have to forget any of the spoons or forks or knives. Having everything inside this one bag means you don't get any noise from any rattling spoons and forks, and you don't forget any of the utensils you need while you're camping. I have this bag over here. This is by Frontrunner. I think I also got this from Safari Outfitters. So with this bag, I usually carry extra utensils like extra sufurias and stuff. Also in here is where I carry my onions and potatoes. So if I have potatoes and onions, I carry them in there. It has extra pockets for whatever you need to put there. So with the food, this is mostly personal preference. You can carry any food that you feel works out for you. Just try out which food you'd like cooking out there, like what food you like eating, just carry that. What I don't miss out on carrying is my cereals, rice, and my ugali. I keep them in this airtight container. I also carry sugar, salt, and I have a pack of tea leaves and instant coffee. Like I mentioned, I do carry some potatoes, I carry some onions and some tomatoes, which I keep in the fridge. Carry water, energy drinks, and milk and juice. So for emergencies, I carry this powdered soup. So you can make soup out of this. Just add water and cook it for a few minutes, and you have your soup. I carry some instant noodles for those lazy days. So when you are extremely lazy for something to cook, just carry instant noodles. I carry canned food. So this they last for very long. They stay for around 5 years. So these are mostly for emergency. So the beans are soaked in tomato sauce, and the githeri is soaked in brine. So if you don't like the taste of this, just wash out the tomato sauce and just fry the beans as you would normal beans. Same with the githeri. Just wash it out, fry with your onions and your tomatoes and your spice, and you will have some decently tasting githeri or beans. These are also ready to eat digestive biscuits. These are very nutritious and they fill your stomach very well. Yeah, and they can hold you through a tough day. So they're a nice snack. They're a nice emergency food. For your eggs, just use this plastic container. It holds up very well. There are smaller ones that can fit properly in your fridge. These hold up pretty well. The eggs will not break even if they're playing around in there and you're traveling at a high speed. These hold up very well. When you're going to like the hotter places and for multi-day trip, the heat in those places will actually kind of cook up your eggs and they will go bad in a few days. So just put those in the fridge. Also carry whatever spices you need. They're not a priority, so I just carry chili and salt. That's it for me. All the snacks, sausages, beef, whatever you want to eat, that will be personal preference. When you're carrying stuff like meat and sausages that you need to freeze, I like to use these Ziploc bags. So you're not carrying like one big frozen blob of meat. Separate them into the specific days. I have that frozen, so when you're in the campsite, you just have to take out and then freeze the meat you're taking for that day. I got this from the supermarket. There are a bunch of them in there. The other thing I have are these trash bags. So these are for putting any trash I generate and keeping the environment clean. This is also from the supermarket. I have this single burner and this hose pipe that I connect to the gas on top of my car. I will show you that in a few. I will get a smaller one because this takes up a lot of space, but that works for now. I also carry around this fire starter. Over to the grill, I have this for grilling meat. This is an outdoor grill by Frontrunner. It packs into this small box. So you have two sides. These are also side grill top, bottom, and there's an ashtray for the base. And they're like that. In the base goes on top of the ashtray. You can either burn charcoal in here or burn firewood. So I usually carry a small amount of charcoal, maybe two containers full of charcoal, and that is what I usually burn here. But you can also chop up small pieces of firewood and light it up in there. So this is also good for campsites that don't allow bonfires. You can light up your charcoal fire and have a good heat up. When you want to use this as a grill, just place those up there where you can grill whatever you want. This is a 3 kg total gas cylinder, and that hooks up. It comes all the way down to my gas cooker, my gas top, and I hook that back there, and I have a fire. Over on this side, I have a sink. So this collapses. It's the same collapsible bucket. Yeah, so this is still a work in progress. I will pipe my water from the pump and have it available on the sink. So yeah, once I finish this, I'll show you guys how that looks like. This comes with a table, and in there I keep the water spout for my water system. Let's talk about the power system. So this is a 100 amp power battery, slimline battery. So it's a pretty slim battery. It fits in there pretty nicely. It also charges my accessories and stuff like that. So it's charged by the battery. The car battery is a wire that runs all the way into a DC charger that powers the battery, and the battery can run this inverter. So this is a 1500 watt inverter, and I get AC power that comes in to this. Out of the battery, I also get DC power. So there's a cigarette lighter port there. There are 3 more in front. I'll show you that. There's a USB port there, and I can also get 12 volt power through these 2 ports. The other thing that it runs is lighting. So I have that switch set up for lights. So I have this light. I have another light here. I have some flexible lights that go in here. I know you've seen them. I use them on the other side with this awning. It's just a flexible LED strip. Looks like that. And it connects to this. So I have a connector there. It connects out and it powers all the lights at once. So all these lights have this red mode. So the good thing about having red lights here is they preserve your night vision. So if you have red lights on, you can still see whatever you want to do. It also does not attract as much insects as the white light. This also powers my pump for water. So on this side, I have a cigarette lighter pot. So this goes to the fridge. This one goes to the air compressor that I have under there. And this one goes to this small inverter. So this small inverter, I can use it to charge my camera. I can charge the radio in there. And yeah, charges up everything I need. You don't really need to get the entire battery system. This one can run off your cigarette lighter port, that one, like that. And you have up to 200 watts, which is enough to charge your phone, which is enough to charge your batteries and stuff. As you can see, this is hooked up to a lot of stuff and it's charging just fine. Whatever I need to charge just sits in this small crate I got from China Square. All the accessories in here, I got them from Bush Gear Kenya. That is the battery, that is the inverter, the DC charger, and circuit breakers that are in there. I got them all from Bush Gear, including this panel. This casing that holds everything. It's pretty solid. I got this made by maxxis Outdoor. maxxis do like custom fabrications for stuff. These lighting accessories, I got them from Safari Outfitters. Wiring them in, I did that on my own, and I wired it to this. So this setup can also hook up to a solar, but I have never needed a solar before. You can just run the car for like 30 minutes and that will charge up to around 80%. Do you need an overkill setup like this? No, you don't. If you are just starting out, get yourself one of these small inverters. I think you can go up to 500 watts to charge your phone and your camera. Get yourself one of these. It will work fine. It charges out of your battery, your car battery. So this is another option. So this is a small power unit. On 40,000 milliamp hours, you can do the conversion, but it generates 500 watts of power. It can charge from a DC port, or you can plug it into a wall outlet, and it has a lot of ports. It has an inbuilt inverter. So just we can actually compare this to this. This is a very bulky system. This is enough for most of your needs. If you have a very tiny fridge, this can power that. You have USB-C, USB, all that. You can charge your phone. You can also charge it with a solar panel. If you have a solar panel, you have the AC outputs, 500 watts. You don't have to get this specific one. This one does not run for very long. We have other options like EcoFlow that I said, Blue Yeti. I will list all the options right on the side of the screen. The other option is what we call a battery box. I'll just show it out here. It's an self-contained battery box, I think just as big as this box that I have here. It will have a battery inside. It will have DC ports like this, and it will have like outputs like this. And you can hook it up to an inverter with a connector like this. So with that, you have a compact system that you can take out of the car easily, and it doesn't take up that much space. So that is another option. Those you can also get from Safari Outfitters. You can get it from Bush Gear Kenya, and I think Ironman also have it. So that is another option. On top of that, I have these 2 torches. So one of them is an ultraviolet torch. So this is for detecting scorpions and stuff. This other torch is a very powerful around the campsite and stuff. It is very bright and useful. So this is how the torch performs at night. It's not even dark yet, but as you can see, that is a pretty bright torch. Right now, let's talk about the water system. I have a very elaborate water system set up for this car. starting with the tank, water output, and then the faucet that I have. There is a stainless steel tank just behind the driver's seat. So that is a 55 liter stainless steel tank. It has an outlet that goes up and through the side panels of the car. This is all DIY. I did all that myself. Once it goes through the side panels of the car, it exits through these quick connect faucets that I did. This is also DIY. So back here, the water goes in through this inlet. So I either use just a funnel or a pipe to just fill in the water. This is 55 liters. I usually don't fill it. I just have it like halfway. Then it goes all the way to the other side. So the pump is mounted somewhere in here. Then it pumps water through here. So it's a self-priming pump, small one. When you press the button, it fills up pressure and stops pumping. And then this should be ready to use. My door panels, I have my faucet. So I keep my faucet in here. And yeah, this is what I use. So these are from gardening system. This is the faucet you use for gardening. And this is the quick connect, same for that. This switch is set for the pump. So when I switch it on, I come to this side, I just connect and have water. As you heard, the pump is self-priming. So once this is pressurized, it stops pumping. But once I depressurize it, it starts working. And yeah, that's what you got. It has like different modes for different use cases. You can even wash your car with that. So the 55 liters can last me up to a week if I use the water sparingly. And the reason I don't use this for a shower is because this releases a lot of water. So this is mostly for the kitchen. Once I'm done, I just switch off the socket, depressurize the system. I remove the quick connect, just like that. And we are good to go. All right, let's talk about recovery. So out in the wild, you need a way to get yourself or someone else out of trouble. That is where you need stuff like tow ropes, a winch, like what I have over here. So this is all my recovery gear. I have a small shovel. That is a jack just to change tires and stuff. This is a traction board. This is a deflator for deflating my tires. These are soft circles. These are D-rings. They do kind of do the same thing. This is a pulley. This is a winch extension strap. This is snatch rope. It kind of does the same thing as that. So if you need to like pull someone out of something, you can use either of that. This is a tree protector, so you wrap it around the tree. This is a damper. It pulls down your winch or your recovery rope so it doesn't turn into a projectile. So that is a kinetic snatch rope, so it's kind of rubbery on the inside. And then obviously we have the winch traction boards. These are one of the most underutilized things I have. I've only ever had to use it once. This is just a precaution most of the time. It's not a necessity. That is also because I have the winch. Mostly in sandy situations or in really slippery mud, you just put one of these under your tires, just like that, and they can help you gain traction and get out of the muddy situation. It can be used as a shovel. So in sand, you see it has a handle here and here, and you can use it as a shovel in a sandy situation. Shovel out that sand. When you combine two of these, this is enough to hold the weight, part of the weight of your car. So you can use this as a bridge. They have these thingies that help you gain some traction. I got this from Geko 4x4 East Africa. Over here, I have a bottle jack. So this is mostly just for tire change and nothing too major. The other thing I need to talk about is the high lift jack. I know you've seen those red complicated thingies. I had that for like 2 years. I carried it around on my roof for 2 years and I never had to use it once. You don't really need a high lift jack, but it's a precaution whenever you need it. It's also pretty dangerous, so if you don't have to use a high lift jack, don't get one of those. I will get a different model of a high lift jack. It's a hydraulic one, but it's pretty short. Having the winch gets me out of many situations as much as possible. Next up, we have a shovel. So this is a collapsible shovel. There you go. And you have a shovel. If you need to dig a small hole, this is all you need. The bigger shovel is useful in other situations, but this is enough for most situations, just a small compact shovel. The recovery rope. So this is called a kinetic recovery rope, and it has some stretch to it. I think this is rated for around 9 tons. It's pretty long. So when you do a kinetic pull where you have to like pull someone out of a situation, this conserves that kinetic energy and helps you pull someone out of the situation or get pulled. I got this from Ironman 4x4. They have a showroom in Mombasa Road. You can go check it out. So these are soft shackles. They help you like loop around something and be able to tow something. If I was going to pull someone out, I would use one of these soft shackles. So this is a bigger one from Ironman. And I think I got this from Intu 4x4. You loop that around there and just place this in like that, and with that you have a very strong connection. This does not come out. The more you pull, the more this closes up, and you have a pretty strong connection. This is a smaller one that fits into much smaller spaces. Rated for around 8 tons or something. I'm not sure. I think this is rated for around 10 tons. I got this from Ironman and this from Intu 4x4. An alternative to this is what we call D-rings. So this is a D shackle. This is rated for 8 tons. It will do the same exact thing as this one. Just open it up right here. Just open that up. Loop it through wherever you have to loop it through. Then you just close it up like that until you reach the end, and then rewind it once so it doesn't lock up, and that you have a solid recovery point. The detriment of this is it's heavier. So using this compared to a soft shackle, compared to this is just pretty light, easy to set up, and it's one unit. You can't lose anything. If you lose it, you lose the entire thing. But with the D ring, you can actually lose this screwy thingy, and it becomes pretty useless. So if you lose this, it becomes useless. You can't use it for anything. So I would recommend you get one of these. Even if you don't have like proper recovery points, this can look through sketchy places that you can help you recover your vehicle. Yeah, and this is pretty rigid. You can't really change the size of that. So you have to have a recovery point that fits this spacing. I would recommend this. It's not as durable as this, but it is more useful in my opinion. The other problem I have with this is they turn into a projectile. So if you don't have this damper thingy that I will show you in a few, if anything happens, this can turn into a projectile and they can fly into your car and cause some damage. This is much safer. The soft shackles is a much safer option compared to this. I have used this in a lot of recovery operations and none of them have ever snapped. They do have a shorter life compared to the D-rings, but they are more versatile. This is a damper. This is more useful when you're using winch. So the winch has this metal thingy on the end, and if you're also using a D-shackle, this comes in very handy. If you're using a D-shackle for recovery, it would look something like that. And this, as I said, could get pretty dangerous. If one of these ropes snaps, the D-shackle could come flying into your car. So what you do is you take this and you place it on that point, and you place some rocks inside to weigh it down. So if any of these ropes snaps, this would just fall to the ground. So this is a safety precaution. You mostly have any metal parts on your recovery line. This is a tree protector. So you loop it around a tree and it has 2 ends. So yeah, if you have like a giant tree or a number of trees you have to loop around to get yourself out with your winch, this is what you wrap around the tree. So what happens is this protects your winch line from any friction on the tree, and it also protects the tree from any damage. I got this from Bush Gear Kenya, together with the D shackles and this. So these are all from Bush Gear Kenya, and that's Bush Gear Kenya. So all these come in one bag, as a recovery kit. This is a snatch rope, and like I said, it does the same job as this. So, but this one is kinetic as rubber. This one is just normal snatch rope. That's why I've never used it, but it's the same concept. It will help you recover another vehicle or have yourself recovered. So this is a winch extension rope. So if you are pretty far away from a tree or whatever you need to tie yourself down and pull yourself out with a winch, you use this. It looks kind of similar to this, but it's much longer and rated for extending your winch. Inside this bag, I have my jump starting cables. So this is for jump starting someone else's car or my car whenever if ever the battery goes low. So those live inside this small bag. This is a battery jump starter. It has a torch and a jump starter. This cable that you plug in to this, and then you clip it on your battery, and this will jump start your battery. It has 2 chargers. So this will just boost it for that few seconds that you need to just start your car. Use the jumper cables whenever you can, but this is for emergency. They're not that durable in my experience. It's also a power bank. It has the USB ports in there, and you can charge your phone from this. So let's talk about the winch. So in here, I have my winch mounted on the bull bar. So this winch is rated for 12,000 pounds. That is around 5.5 tons, but it can pull up to 13,500 pounds, around 6 tons. So it does come with multiple controllers. I got this winch from Geko 4x4 EA. They have different types of winches, but most of them have a synthetic rope. This is a synthetic rope winch, so this is a nylon rope. It's pretty strong. I have done a number of recoveries. If you're at Mad for Fun 2024 last December, you'd see how much this rope can pull. I had a steel rope winch before, but that was damaged beyond repair because the winch skipped the tracks in there and broke the winch in some very strange places. Let me tell you about the advantages of the synthetic rope. So one is it's much safer. So if it snaps, it just drops to the ground. It doesn't turn into a weapon. So whenever one of these snaps, it can fly to wherever you want to go. But if this snaps somewhere here, it will just drop to the ground, which is much safer. If you don't want any metal parts on this, you can replace this with a soft shackle at the end. You can just remove the hook. The other advantage is you can do what we call a double pull. So what we call a double pull is where this comes in, the pulley. So if you learned stuff in physics, they can cut down the effort you need to pull something by half. So this one pulley can cut down the amount of effort I need to pull out this car by half, or any other car by half. So let me show you how that works. The winch will loop through the pulley like that, and this goes back to the car, so you can hook it to wherever you have to hook it out in the car. So this is what we call a double pull, and what this allows you to do is reduce the weight that the winch has to pull and make it extremely easy for you to pull yourself out of anything. So this is what you call a double pull, and reduces the effort needed to pull someone out or to pull yourself out of a tough situation. So if you're pulling someone who is 2 tons heavy, the effort needed to pull this would be 1 ton. I got this pulley from Bush Gear, Kenya. That is one of the advantages of a synthetic rope. You can't do this with a steel rope. It doesn't bend like that. It comes with a wireless controller. Pull it in. It also comes with a wired controller. My winch is wired up all the way up to this switch controller box. I know you've seen some people who mount this on top of the bull bar, but I prefer it inside here. If you have to use this, just like that, and you have the same controls that you have on that, and that way you can pull. So this is a tire deflator and inflator kit. I got this from Safari Outfitters. How does this work? So it just hooks up to your tires on both sides. So you just hook it up to the tire like that. It's just a simple mechanism. Push, and that is it. And on this side you have your gauge, and now this is the deflator part. You just move this up, and this is late the tire, just like that. Pretty simple, until you get to the pressure that you want. This is a DIY thing I did. I got this, I think, from China Square. This goes in to this other end of of my deflator. And what it does is it plugs in there, turns this into an inflator. I can inflate both tires at the same time, and where this pipe and the thingy goes under my driver's seat. So this is a compressor. It's just a simple compressor I bought from, I think, China Square, but you can get any compressor you want. And then it hooks all the way in. It goes like that, and it goes through the side panel and comes out of that. So whenever I want to inflate my tires, I just come here, set the pressure I want, and just start inflating my tires, which is pretty cool. That compressor is pretty slow, so that is just a precaution. If you need to air up your tires, uko kwa bush where there is no compressor, you need to do that. This is just a DIY contraption I did. I made that case. I cut up whatever was here, and then use that. This is a quick connect, quick release pipes for air, so there is no leaks in the entire system. So once the compressor pumps air, it goes into your tires direct, and it stops when it gets to the pressure that you set. And this is just a quick release. Just pull that out, and you are on your way. So this other one is similar to that, the deflate one. This one is from Ironman. So what you do is you hook it up like that, but with this you have to unscrew the valve. So inside your tire thingy there is a valve, so you have to unscrew it with this like that until it pops out like that. It shows you like the pressure you have, so you just press this button and you release the pressure slowly. So this is a simpler version. If you want to do like one tire at a time, this is what you have. I like this one because it does 2 tires at the same time, which is a time 7. So to undo this, you have to close your valve until it's snug. Then you remove that. So you have to be careful with your valve because it can fly away. So make sure you like tighten it enough before removing this, because it can fly away. All right, let's start with the shower kit. In here I just carry soap. I usually use these tiny soaps. The other thing I have in here is this. This is a shower. It goes hand in hand with the bucket. So this is a collapsible bucket. I'll push it out. You stick that in there. This goes to your power source, and you have a shower. With this, you are able to save water. I can measure out the amount of water I want to use to shower, and I can also boil some water and put them in there so that I can shower with that. I got both of these from Safari Outfitters. Over here I have a rain poncho, a raincoat. I got this from Decathlon. So whenever you're hiking out in the rain, it's a good idea to have one of these. So over here I have a hammock when I need to like chill and relax on the outside, or even in warmer climates. I can just sleep in here for the entire night. I also got the hammock from Decathlon. It packs into itself. This bag is part of the hammock, so you don't lose the bag. So you can tie it to something on this side, maybe a tree and the car, and you have a place to sleep. It also comes with instructions on how to set it up, so you don't have to worry about setting it up. Inside my recovery box, that one, I do carry gumboots. So this is just one pair of gumboots. Other than that, I have my slippers and my Crocs. I carry this machete. It has a saw on one end and sharp edge on the other. Yeah, so if I need to like clear the campsite, clear the road, or cut some firewood, this is the one I use. I got this from a shop called Going Outdoor in Galleria Mall. I have a chair. This folds in like that. This is from Decathlon. It has a cup holder over here, and yeah, it's pretty stable. I do not prefer this one. It's not as comfortable. The back does not lean. It's just fixed to that point. And yeah, this is one of the chairs I have. So this is the other chair I have. It comes in this bag thingy. is the chair. It opens up just like that, that over, and that. So this chair leans, has a leaning back. So if you want to like watch the stars up in the sky, I just sit here and lean back. It comes with a cup holder. And it's just much more comfortable. So the chair, I got this chair from Bush Gear Kenya. The other thing I carry in my accessory box is this flat pack grill. I think I've already shown you how that looks like. That goes in there with this box. Inside this box is all the extra stuff. So I have extra pegs. If I lose some of them that I have extra extra in here. It's pretty cool. I got this from Decathlon. I got these from Safari Outfitters. These are longer ones, so if you are in soft ground, this would be much more useful because they go deeper into the ground and hold your tent in place. Here I have ratchet straps and some bungee cords in there, and ratchet straps. And this is what we call a stretch it. Bungee cords are just these stretchy ropes with a hook, and you can use it to hold down something. Ratchet straps come with these ratchet parts, so ratchets and a strap. This do the same thing. You need to tie down something on the roof. I will use this. I have a number of them. I think some of them are in the car. These are called stratchets by Frontrunner. These are a hybrid between the bungee cords and the ratchet straps. So you just hook one side to somewhere and the other, and then you pull on this strap and it tightens whatever you need to hold down. And with the stretchy part, it also has some give, but it helps hold down whatever you're holding down pretty securely. I prefer these over ratchet straps and bungee cords. They all have their uses, but these are much better. I got these from Safari Outfitters. If you're going for the first aid kit, just get a bigger one. It usually has more stuff. Go through it, know what's in there. I think they usually have a list of what's in there. Add in stuff like painkillers, and maybe consult your friend who is a nurse or a pharmacist to just see what you can add into your first aid kit. Just make sure you have a solid first aid kit that will help you out whenever you're out there. Let me show you some of the tools I carry in my two boxes, this one and that one. My tools are very unconventional, so don't get intimidated. I think all you need is just a small toolbox like this one. So just a small toolbox with your basic spanners, screwdrivers, maybe some Allen keys, and a ratchet. So it comes with a ratchet in there. So ratchet is this. I broke one that came with this, so I just had to get another one. I have screw extractors, some drill bits. I don't know where some of them are, but I think they're inside here. So paired with this cordless drill, you can just drill a hole and use your screw extractors. You don't need to carry this. These are just extras that I carry. The other necessity you need is a tire repair kit. I have a small bag of soap just to help detect where there is a leak in air. I have these tubeless rubber thingies. I have a bunch of them. That is the tire repair kit. You can look up what needs to be in the tire repair kit. I think I'm just missing the glue, retractable blade. Never forget your wheel spanner. An assortment of fuses that are specific to my car. You can just carry like 2 or 3 fuses. I also have this tester, electrical tape. So this and this is what I need to fix my brake lines. In this box I carry some of the fluids. This is grease. This is silicone, engine oil, gearbox oil. So I use this for my power steering. This brake fluid, you can use this for the clutch and you can use this for the brake. I usually carry a bigger one, but I have this for now. This is WD-40, a spare clutch master cylinder. I have a hacksaw. I carry these spare belts, 2 of them, specifically for my car. My car needs 3, but these are the most critical. So what do these do? If you look in there, we have 3 belts. That is 1, 2, 3. These belts are critical. So you lose these 2 belts, you lose charging. You lose charging to your battery. you lose the pump and the fan. So the fan stops running, and your pump that pumps water around the engine stops running, and the engine could overheat. These stay on there for very long. They can run for years, but they are made of rubber, so they will wear out after a while. So the AC belt, this one is not very critical. This one just runs the cooling. You can carry a spare one if you need to, but these two are the most critical. These are the ends of your steering unit. If you look at my steering unit, this is kind of similar to that. They are called tie rod ends, and what they do is they have a moving part in here, so they help your steering articulate very well. And moves around. You can see like that as pivoted. So they help your steering articulate well and absorb some of the shock when your tires hit something. But they actually just help when your steering articulates. They can move around, and it doesn't bind up or bend this other tie rod. So this is the tie rod. This is the tie rod end. So this helps with the articulation. So this one does not bend. It also helps when you are doing alignments and have your tires facing the correct direction and have the correct angle. So I have the 4 tie rod ends. Next is the radiator cap. So this cap is just a replacement of this radiator cap. You will lose your coolant if this rubber dries out. You could lose coolant from the outer parts of your radiator cap. So I just have an extra one. This is a spout for my jerrycan. This just clamps to the top of the jerrycan, and I can pour fuel into the tank. I also carry extra U-bolts. It holds these rear springs to the axle and the body of the car. They rarely break, but if the threads are damaged, it could be detrimental. I just carry this as a precaution. If you look at that, that is one of those. This is for tying down hoses and stuff. I have different sizes for different scenarios. I have extra front brake pads. The rear ones are not that critical, so I don't have to carry those around, but I think I have 2 of them somewhere. This is just an extra brake line. This is extra hose pipes. So the hose pipes are these pipes are prone to getting holes and stuff. So this is just a replacement. I can just cut and place it in there. These are replacements for the rear hose pipes. Back here, I carry this shaft. So this is the rear axle shaft. This goes in there. It's one of those, as you can see on this other end. So this is just a replacement for that. I carry it around just as a precaution. It's not a necessity. This car can run with just the front wheels. You can just take this off if it fails. If I have to recover myself with a winch from a place where there is no tree, I can dig a hole, place this in, and use it as an anchor to hold myself and pull myself with the winch. So this is a recovery tool of some sorts. This is just a spare for that. For me to carry all this is mostly just as a precaution. All I need, I think, is just that toolbox, the tire repair kit, and the tire spanner. Everything else is just a precaution. I have extra things in this toolbox, just bolts and nuts that I might need. This is duct tape, I think. Yeah, this is duct tape. And a bunch of other bolts and nuts that I might need. Yeah, so that's it for my tools and my shenanigans. I also carry these nozzles. So this is a nozzle for your tire, like this one. It goes in there. In this sketchy looking bag, an extra fuel pump, just because I have it and I have space for it. This is a 1 kZTE engine from a Prado 95. It's a 3-liter engine paired with a 90-liter fuel tank. It has a turbo and an electronically controlled fuel injection system. The original engine for this car was 1PZ. 1PZ, it was a 5-cylinder engine that was a yay long. And that is why we have this shroud to do some of the airflow control. I have an Amaron Pro battery. This is an Amaron Pro battery, an N95. I've had this for over a year now, and it has been good so far. I've had no complaints. This engine is pretty solid. I've had no major issues with it. I do my service every 5,000 km. That is the filter change, oil filter, diesel filters, and the oil change every 5,000 km. Every few thousand, like 20, 30,000 km, I flush out all my coolant and put fresh coolant in there. Let's talk about the headlights. That is parking. That is dim, and that is full light. These lights are pretty bright. As you can see, these are LED lights. I have LED fog lights as well. with how bright these lights are, I never have to drive with full lights when I'm on the road most of the time. And I do not need to put light bars or the round lights that guys put here, or the roof light bars. So I've had this for a while. I've gone to the wild. They have served me pretty well, and I've never needed to do light bars. So down under, the suspension is Ironman foam cell paired with Ironman springs, as you can see under there. Those are pretty amazing. I've had really nice ride comfort with them. No complaints so far. So I got this from SaiRaj Ironman 4x4. They have a showroom in Mombasa Road. I've had them for about a year right now, and they've been amazing. They're really comfortable on the off-road. I can go really fast, and I can have a stable ride. On the rear side, I also have Ironman shocks, but I have leaf springs. So the leaf springs are stock, but I will change them out in future to a more robust leaf spring, because this one are sagging a little bit right now. All right, when it comes to tires, I'm running the maxxis Razor 80s. These are all-terrain tires from Tire World. I've had this for over a year right now. I think I got them in 2023, and they've been running so well so far. They perform really well in mud. They perform really well in sand. So I've never had to upgrade to mud terrain tires. So these have served me very well. I don't really have that much a recommendation. You can go for any tire that fits your need. BF Goodreads are like twice the price of this. They perform really well. There are cheaper options like the Conforsa, the Kendas, and the Linglongs. Those are also pretty good. So weigh your options, the cost on your end, and get the tires that fit you. I would highly recommend all terrains. If you're starting out, just do all terrains. Don't go straight to mud terrains. Because mud terrains are actually more expensive than all terrains. You don't get that much advantage, especially if you're just doing like casual off-roading. You don't get that much advantage from doing mud terrains. All terrains will be enough for you. Back here, I carry one spare tire for the car. So I rarely use this. So what I do every 5,000 km, when I'm doing my oil change, I come here and do a tire rotations, including the spare tire. So these are not directional tires. So they're tires that you can only mount facing one direction. But these are bi-directional tires, so you can mount it on any of the four wheels. So always check if you have a directional tire. Backup fuel with the 90 liter on the car, that is diesel. I also carry 20 liters as backup. For most of the trips, I would say like the 90-liter tank is enough. I rarely have to use this. But when I need to carry more fuel, I have extra jerrycans like this that I put on the roof, up to like 60 liters of extra fuel on the roof. This car also comes with a snorkel. This is a snorkel for air intake. Always make sure that your snorkel is connected on the inside and it's proper sealed, so that you don't have water intake when you're doing a river crossing or something like that. So let's just talk about the interior of the car. Synthetic leather seats, yeah, and the dash and the steering. I did that stitched by wash in 2021, and they're still holding up very well. So this is a manual transmission, 5-speed manual transmission. This is the lever to switch between high and low range, just down there. Would I choose a manual or an automatic transmission? It doesn't really matter that much, depending on your preference and stuff. You could do an automatic, it doesn't matter. For me, it's manual anytime. When you lose your brakes, you have a backup with a gear shifter. You have hill descent control just built in to the car. Like you just do low gear and you can descend a hill without stepping on the brakes. The manual transmissions can take some abuse. If this loses like the transmission fluid, so there's a fluid that sits inside the gearbox, I can just chuck some grease in there, and it will run just fine until I get to civilization where I can fix it. It's not ideal, but it can run. If one gear fails, I can go to a local mechanic. We can take it out and run without that specific gear. So for me, it's manual anytime, but you can choose any car that you are comfortable with, and you can go adventuring. This is a remote for my camera. The camera is usually mounted up on the roof, just on this clamp facing that way. And yeah, this is the remote that controls that. So let me just turn it on. Whenever I'm driving and I see some cool scenery up in the front, I just click on that and it starts recording. It turns on the GoPro and it starts recording, which is pretty cool. So this is pretty useful. So I don't have to like reach for cameras just to record the road. I just press this button and it starts recording. And over here, I have a Sony head unit. So this is just the standard head unit with your radio, your Bluetooth, and your USB. My favorite thing here is the Android Auto. So let me just connect this phone. And once I connect the phone, it will automatically bring up Android Auto. There you go. And it starts playing music immediately, which is pretty cool. Here you have your music. Whichever player you have, it will show up here. So right now I have Spotify. You can click that to have it at full screen. If you want just to view your music, click that to bring it back. Here you have your quick destinations. If you want to go somewhere, just click that, or you can search whichever destination you want to go, right? Right on that on your list. On the right, this is your map, your navigation. So this is right now on Google Maps, and I can use this to go wherever I want. You can do full screen. So whenever I'm driving, I usually just have my map already there. Let's say I want to go somewhere. Let's say, yeah, there. Just click that and start, and it shows you the entire route. So whenever you're driving, it just shows you where you're going, which is amazing. So this beats having like to mount your phone somewhere like that. And when you go back to music, you still have your navigation and you have your music on the other side. So yeah, I really like this. So I use Google Maps. As you can see, this is Google Maps on satellite view, which is amazing. I also have this. This is called maps.me. So maps.me is a very nice map. So this can take you places that Google Maps cannot take you, which is amazing. So I have this downloaded on my phone, just the entire satellite array of wherever I'm going. I just download, maybe if it's Gong Hills, I download the satellite view of that area I'm going to. And then I also have my maps.me. So this works without internet. It just works with GPS. So as long as your phone has GPS, you're pretty good to go anywhere. And with Google Maps, similar, as long as you have GPS, it will show you wherever you are on these satellite maps. So this is enough for me whenever I'm driving out there. This is paired with a number of speakers in the car, and it sounds pretty good, which is amazing. Always carry shades. So I don't have my front windshield tinted, just the side ones, so that I can have the best view of the amazing sceneries out there. But when the sun is too intense, I just put on shades. You can take off shades, you can take off your tint in the middle of the road. So here are some of the shops where you can get your outdoor, camping, and overlanding gear. Starting off the list is Safari Outfitters. I think most of my gear is from Safari Outfitters. You can find them on Instagram at Safari Outfitters, and you can see all of the gear that they have on there. They also have a website with the entire catalog of everything they offer. Just follow the link on the Instagram profile, or go down in the description to get the link to both the Instagram profile and the website, so you can check out the entire catalog and get yourself some camping gear and overlanding gear. Next up is Bush Gear Kenya. I got my fridge, my recovery gear, and my power setup from Bush Gear Kenya. I also got like the chair, the camping chair that I have. Go to the Bush Gear Kenya Instagram profile to just check out the entire catalog and some of the stuff you might want to get from Bush Gear. I'll have that linked in the description as well. Geko 4x4 East Africa. This is where I got my winch and some of my other recovery gear. You can find Geko on Instagram and on Gigi. They have like a profile on Gigi where you can view the entire catalog and the pricings of each items before you purchase. Maxxis is where I did most of my fabrications for my drawers, my shelves, and my tables. Yeah, check them out on Instagram at Maxxis Outdoor if you want to do some custom fabrications for your overlanding rig. So Ultra Red have a nice catalog of fabrications for your overlanding rig. Check them out on Instagram. You can get awnings, you can get drawers, roof racks, fridge slides, you name it. They also have a website where you can just see what they offer out there. Ark Overland also have an Instagram profile with the catalog of the stuff they offer. Check them out if you are looking around for camping gear and overlanding stuff. Similarly, Rome Outfitters offer a large array of camping gear and overlanding stuff. They have like rooftop tents, solar panels, toolboxes, you name it. Check them out on Instagram. Next up is SaiRaj Ironman 4x4. Other than having a showroom in Mombasa Road, they also have this Instagram profile where you can get a feel of what they offer. This is where I got my suspension, shock absorbers, and the springs done. You can also get tents, you can get like bull bars, like recovery gear, camping gear, whatever you need. They also have a website with pricing and everything listed, so just check them out when you're looking for your overlanding stuff. I got some of my stuff from Intu Africa. They have an Instagram profile. I think they recently launched a showroom. I'm yet to go there, but they have a really nice catalog of camping gear and overlanding stuff on their website. Just check them out on the website or check them out on Instagram. I have not interacted with Milano, but ARB have some really nice stuff for overlanding, like the bull bars, the recovery gear, and stuff like that. You can also get your suspension done at Xceptions Tyres. They have Dobinson's shock absorbers and springs. Check them out. I got my tires at maxxis by Tire World. They have an Instagram profile, I think also a website, or you can also visit them at their various workshops to get your tires or just to have a look around. Most of my gear comes from Decathlon. They have a physical store in Two Rivers. They have a really large catalog of camping gear, especially for beginners. They have a really different types of camping gear that will fit your needs, so check them out. Of course, I'll have all these links in the description for anyone who wants to follow up and get some overlanding gear. And as a parting shot, I'll say this: don't copy everything you see in this video or in any online video. Just copy or buying random things that you see online or in this video. What you need to do is just use the videos as an inspiration for what you might want to do for yourself, and then build up slowly. Buy some of the things, figure out what you need for your specific overlanding style, and just build up slowly until you find your comfort zone. Otherwise, if you just go buying random things you see online, you will end up with a bunch of stuff you never use or a bunch of stuff you don't actually need, and that will be a waste of money and resources. So build up slowly, figure out what you need, figure out what works for you, and go from there. And in the end, in like 2-3 years, you will have something that you're comfortable with. And with that, I'll say that's it for today. Have some epic adventures ahead, and I'll see you around.